Welcome to The Code. Construction, design, and engineering. This is India's #1 construction podcast.
So most people do not inspect their new home before buying.
Correct.
What's the worst case you've seen from someone who didn't inspect their home?
If I tell you one, it won't do justice to whatever we found.
Okay.
We've seen across the board. So you have people who purchase apartments from 50 lakhs all the way to 8 crores villas. We've seen cases even when there's a 8 crore villa, there were termites.
Okay.
We've seen cases where when you turn on something in a bathroom, master bedroom bathroom, guess where the water came out?
When you turned on the tap or faucet somewhere.
It was a shower.
Okay. And you turn on the faucet in the shower.
Yes.
The water came out from the wash basin. I don't know.
No, it came out from the headboard in the bathroom.
Awesome. Brilliant work.
Right. So what we suggest is just do a basic check. But people don't, as you said, no, most people don't inspect. Most people don't check. The concern that they have is we've paid so much of money. If I was to talk to the person delivering this product to me, which is the builder,
Yeah.
they may say something or they may say no. They may say no, you either take it or leave it.
Okay.
Which I don't think most of them do. But that's what they're worried about. I don't understand the psyche, but it's a case.
Do you think they think they'll offend someone they bought the product from? I don't know.
We've seen a lot of people say, what will the builder say?
Okay.
Right? So what I tell them is when you go buy guavas, when you go buy mangoes,
Yeah.
you check.
Yes.
You are putting your life saving into buying this.
Right.
In India, people buy once in their lifetime predominantly. When you're putting your life savings and you're taking a loan most of the times, we should get what you were promised, boss.
Uday, I think one of the biggest challenges with our psychology, I think that comes from our psychology. I was discussing this yesterday with somebody, and I said it's easy to negotiate and be hard with somebody you think is powerless,
That is true.
right?
That is
So
very true.
you mentioned like we went to, let's say, go out to buy some fruit, right? Us fruit wale ke samay, we'll just like be very, very brash.
Correct.
We'll negotiate on the price. We'll negotiate on the quality. We'll pick and choose our fruit.
Correct.
Like, but when it comes to buying from somebody who seems like somebody who's powerful, I don't think we have the guts to actually tell the person off as well. I don't think that we come out and say, okay, he seems somebody with influence. I don't think I can oppose him. I think it's just that colonial mindset which is still there in us.
It is a mindset that you're entering the battlefield already lost.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that, look, this guy's got more power.
Correct.
Where in fact he doesn't. If you look at it logically, you are talking to a builder who is delivering 1,000 apartments.
Right.
Imagine if you can get 100 of them together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not 1 against 1 now, you're against 100 against 1.
Yeah.
It depends on how you look at it. You invert and then you make more sense. So you need to demand for your rights because at the end of the day, it's your hard-earned money. Would the builder, if it was reversed,
Yeah.
would he give you a discount?
No.
There you go.
And you have to make your payments on time.
Yes.
Otherwise, the booking's gone.
Yes.
Or the price goes up.
Yes. You end up paying interest.
And a lot of builders charge you for that inflation over time as well.
Yes. Yes.
And they're like, okay, sir, we agreed on this price, but I'm sorry,
Yeah.
prices have gone up. This is what it is.
Exactly.
And they actually don't live up by their words as well.
That's
Now, my challenge is where I look at it from somebody who's giving you a service and you're buying that service, I think it's fair to ask for the right quality.
Whatever. It may be a service, it may be a product. At the end of the day, you're supposed to get what you were promised.
Fair.
That is the transaction you're at.
Okay. Why did a tech guy like you enter construction? And did you ever regret leaving the cushy life of IT abroad?
No regrets whatsoever. I was in Europe.
Okay.
I was abroad for 14 years before I came back.
Yeah.
My dad runs a project management consulting firm.
Yeah.
So one day he said, why don't you think of coming back? So made the choice, moved back. I knew nothing about business. I knew nothing about running an industry. I was lucky enough, I got into a project management course in IIM Bangalore. That changed my whole perspective on things. Then after that, meeting people like you has expanded the horizon. I reiterate, no regrets. Somebody said if you go skipping to work, it's never a day of work. So if you enjoy what you're doing, I love what I do.
So there, you're loving what you're doing.
Oh, I love what I do.
Awesome. What's something most home buyers in India assume, but it's completely wrong?
Everybody thinks if something has got a brand value behind it, everything that brand delivers will meet some particular standard.
Right.
If it's a tier one builder, you can expect a lot of good things. I'm not going to take away that from them. What we should remember is, especially in the construction field, not many things can be automated.
Right.
Today, you have a main contractor who works under the brand. That main contractor has got subcontractors.
Yes.
All of them are humans.
Yes.
Now, there may be one gang who's working in Tower A, there may be one gang working in Tower B. You don't know which or who is having a bad day.
Yeah.
Tower A may be having a bad day. So you will not know what your quality of product is unless there is really good QA/QC that's happening. Even then, if you have a QA/QC that's embedded within your framework, the problem is they all report to the same manager, general manager. So it is like the left hand complaining against the right hand,
Yeah.
which will never happen.
Yeah.
Right? So what I would like to say is, any person with a big name, if you imagine that you will get perfect, pristine quality, I would implore that you rethink. I would like to add something interesting.
Okay.
We've seen tier 2 builders, their product is better in a lot of ways than tier 1 builders.
Why is that?
Think about it. A tier 2 builder wants to be a tier 1 builder. So he will bend over backwards to give you a better product. Tier 1 builders have already arrived. For them, their main target now is to continue to maintain the brand. That's why if you find a problem, you will most of the time have somebody help you with the problem in the tier 1 builder. Because today in the world of social media, one WhatsApp group, one post, the brand gets nullified. So
Completely.
they want to be able to do good. However, in the eyes of the customer, it's better if they don't have to come to you at all.
Yeah.
That's you need.
I mean, I believe in the philosophy of building something which should not be serviceable at all. You know what I mean? As somebody who would manufacture some products, I try to manufacture something where my customer doesn't have to call me because of selfish reasons. I don't want to service the product. I don't want to delve the infrastructure for it. I don't want to delve the money that it involves, or the time or the energy. Because if I build it right the first time, it makes my life easy. But you've inspected over 10,000 homes by now.
Correct.
How many, and please be honest, how many pass your checklist 100%?
I've been taught if you're honest, you don't have to remember anything.
Okay.
Because the only thing that is there, it is always the truth. If you start lying, then you have to remember the various parts of it. We've never seen, our checklist is 2,000 odd points.
Yeah.
We've never seen any one unit that has got 0 defects. There's some great work that happens, maybe 30, 40 defects, but 0 defects, none. Can you guess the average number of defects a 2,000 square foot apartment in India would have?
I'm going to say a good builder doing a great job, 150, 200,
You're close. 220.
220.
Yeah.
That comes from a good builder, you would say?
No, on average, across the
What's
board,
the average?
that's the average. We've seen villas have 600, 800 problems. We've seen 1 BHKs have 100 problems.
Wow. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. A villa is a luxurious undertaking.
Yes.
It's a lot of money.
Yes.
It is being bought by somebody with means.
Correct.
I don't think a common man is buying villa in India, especially in tier 1 cities anymore.
Correct.
So if you're buying a villa which is marred with 500, 600 snags, do they actually get corrected properly? All of them? I don't think you can do
Beautiful. Beautiful. if you were, Rishabh has bought a villa and you are talking to Nemmadi to audit, you would want Nemmadi to look at it like you would. So we go with a fine tooth comb. Even the smallest of problems we identify. Now, it is up to you to decide whether you want to say no or yes to the builder to get that rectified. For me, I am doing my responsibility, my duty by identifying even the smallest of problems.
Right.
If there's a small chip, if there's a small crack, I identify it. Now, it is up to you to say, boss, okay, theek hai, this small crack, you leave it, but that huge crack there, get it rectified.
Yeah. So what's acceptable to me and what's not, right?
Because we look at it from the point of view of the homeowner.
Right.
I don't look at it from the point of view of the builder.
Yeah, of course.
We've had anecdote. 2 days ago, my team went and met one representative from a tier 1 builder.
Okay.
Point blank, he told the team, my team has decided to ban you from coming to any of our projects.
Awesome.
Okay, so obviously the team didn't say anything, but then we understood that our reports were so in depth that their management took this guy to task so severely that his only way out was to stop us from going. But
Can
technically,
he really stop you? Because
technically he can't. Technically he can't. Legally, if the homeowner wants us to audit, they can't do anything.
Wow.
But this only goes to show, if you're a forward-looking or a forward-thinking person, you have nothing to hide.
Fair. What are the top 3 most common defects in Indian apartments today?
Hollow tiles.
Yeah.
We've seen that a lot of people go and put stools, tables, dining tables, and beds on tiles. What they don't understand is the leg is a point load.
Yeah.
So if you sit on it or if you put a almirah and load it, that point load will shatter the tile if it's hollow.
Yeah.
That is one of the bigger problems. It happens because people are in a hurry,
Yeah.
or they use material that is not supposed to be. Debonding occurs, or maybe they're not used sufficient material, so you got hollow tiles. Then you have seepage, leakage,
Every home.
every other place. One more data point. How many apartments as a percentage do you think have seepage or dampness of all the 10,000 and more units that we've identified?
In my experience, 100%.
60%. But
60%.
60%.
I think Bangalore builders are doing a better job than Delhi builders. Farmhouses being sold at like 25 crores, 30 crores, 50 crores. All have it. If they have a basement, 100%.
See, you cannot do negative side. You have to do it from where the source is.
Yeah.
So when you're building it itself, you make sure that water doesn't enter. There's no point in you saying, okay, the wall is there, I'm going to put it inside the basement.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't work. Right? And why do you want to build when you know the subsoil water level is at 1 meter?
Yeah.
Why do you want to go to a basement?
Absolutely. Well, people need more space.
But
We need
you
our-
don't want to. Fine, but don't do it in that project, nah.
Yeah. And it all burns
See,
down to
it's
like
not my
whims and
place to tell them what to build, where
Yeah.
to build. But if you're building, think about it.
Yeah.
Then the last point of the thing is electric.
Oh yeah.
If you have not earthed something properly, if your line and neutral are reversed, it seems trivial, but it could lead to dire consequences. You don't want people dying.
Yeah, of course.
So that is something that's important.
Yeah, especially like extreme heats, it does happen quite regularly.
Yeah.
Which is worse, in your opinion? Bad waterproofing, bad electricals, bad flooring, and why?
We've never seen people drown in their own basement because of leakage or seepage.
Yeah.
It is a problem. You will have dampness, you will have mold, it'll be an annoyance. But if there's bad electrical work, people can die.
Yeah, it's health hazard.
So that is one thing.
Yeah.
Then you have dampness that comes. Then finally, aesthetically, you have problems of tiles, a bad floor. We have seen mushrooms growing on wooden floor.
People trees. People trees in Delhi buildings. People trees are a thing. terraces, side exterior walls.
Yeah, nobody cleans it.
Anywhere there's a joint between the slab and
Yeah.
the external wall.
Yeah,
Oh God, people trees are a basic thing in any building which is nearly 5 years old.
they start going. Yeah, they're very hardy plants, but somebody needs to clean it.
Yeah, and it damages your structure and all.
Very big. Yeah.
What's the one builder name you audited that really inspired you? Either good or bad.
Obviously, it's not fair to take names
Okay.
because if I take one name, then I'll take the bad name, good name.
Oh yeah.
I would like to go back to the statement I made earlier.
Okay.
Tier 2 builders are really good. We've seen boutique builders who've done amazing work. The eye to quality, the eye to detail, the amount of interest that they take. They don't come and stop us from auditing. They come and they work with us and say, okay, so we've learned that this is a mistake. We will not repeat it in the next villa.
Yeah.
So we've seen that they have learned from us and their product has improved.
Yeah.
So these are forward-thinking guys, and these are boutique fellows. So these guys they do a JV with some landowner. He will build 10 villas. He will sell it at 10, 20 crores, but
Yeah.
the product is beautiful.
Very nice. That's actually good to hear. When you say tier 2, like which one? Which couple of cities?
Or tier 2 builders in tier 1 cities or tier 2 cities.
Tier 2 builders in tier 1 city.
Yeah.
Oh, so it can be done. That's what you're saying.
It can be done. It is done. We have seen guys who built a swimming pool. We identified a problem with their swimming pool.
Right.
In the following villas that they had to still build, they incorporated the changes to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Okay, if Uday was to buy, I'm gonna rephrase the question. If Uday was to buy an apartment or a villa
Okay.
in Bangalore, who's your favorite builder today?
I am staying in a builder called B&B, Bhaskar Raju and Son and Partners, Opulence Spa. Beautiful place. The gentleman is a gem of a person. We were staying in one of his earlier apartments before, and we happened to get another one opportunity. We bought it. Goodbye.
Okay.
If you're interested, a lot of units still free. Though.
Fair. Sounds good. More for you guys than for me. But yeah. Why don't Indian home buyers treat their 1 crore investment in the flat the same way they treat their 20,000 laptop or like a 5 lakh rupees worth of a car? Why don't they get it inspected?
I have a thesis. I have a theory about this. I may be wrong. Any psychology professors can tell me. When you buy a 20,000 rupee laptop or when you buy a gold chain, you pay for it at one go. So you see the money go out of your pocket at one go.
Yeah.
When you're buying a 1 crore or a 2 crore or 3 crore, it doesn't go out in 1 crore. It goes out in monthly EMIs.
Yeah.
So for you, in your mind, it is valued at the EMI that you're paying.
Oh.
So you will look at it at the quality value of your 80,000 EMI or 1 lakh EMI. So I'm like, okay, psychologically, that's what I think is happening. But what we reverse frame it and say, would you be open to spending less than 1% of the total value of your property to save you more than 10% of the value of your property in headaches?
Right.
If you bought a 1 crore apartment, spend less than 1 lakh, you will save more than 10 lakhs worth of headache.
Absolutely. It's kind of like hiring the right professional for building your house and later on, like, of course, getting the right team on board to just check the work. There's nothing wrong with it, to be honest.
There's nothing when you.
You're right, you end up saving more money.
Yeah.
Years of hassle, whatnot.
Yes, absolutely.
You say quality is free when done right.
Correct.
The first time, right?
Yes.
Explain that in terms of where even a layman can understand it.
See, the phrase quality is free done the first time is from the book that Philip wrote, Philip Crosby, right? He wrote this book and he talks about that quality is free essentially in the sense that you already have a cost associated with what you're doing. That is the cost that you've already calculated.
Okay.
Anything over that is something that is an actual expense to you.
Right.
So if you do it right the first time, you plan for it, you look at the right material, you look at the right soil structure. For that particular soil, you have the right structure, the right people, the right everything. You may incur a delta cost on it. However, the headaches that you get by the people calling you, your rework cost. For rework, your material cost, your
Right.
labor cost, your time, your opportunity cost, all of that comes to zero.
Right.
So that is what I'm talking about. If somebody was to pay a little more attention and do their job right the first time,
Fair. It's always like, it's
Yeah.
probably the best way to avoid everything.
so something like if you were to, waterproof something, if you're doing waterproofing for your bathroom,
Yeah.
invest a little more, get the right thing. When you have a core there, make sure that it is properly done,
Yeah.
right? So that tomorrow the core doesn't start leak.
Right.
Pond it, wait, then people will realize over a period of time that their bathrooms don't leak. So it itself is a selling point.
Correct. Correct. And years of relaxed mind.
Exactly.
What's the actual ROI in a professional home inspection? Can you tell us the real story?
We start for 1,000 square foot apartment.
Okay.
Our fees in Bangalore is 11,000 bucks. If you bought a decent apartment in Bangalore, which is about 1,000 square feet, you paid a minimum of 75-80 lakhs.
Right.
You paid me 11,000. Let's assume yours, it is a cost of 1 crore.
Yeah.
11,000 is less than 0.1%.
Correct.
Let's go by our average number of snags that we find in a 2,000 square foot apartment is 220.
Yeah.
If you take 1,000 square foot, 100. If it is 100, and how much will you attribute to getting something repaired? Say there is a crack, say there is some dampness, say some lock is not working. You need to get some plumber, you need to get somebody, you need to take a day off,
Right.
you need to clean everything out. Will you attribute at least 1,000 rupees to repairing one snag?
Easy. Minimum.
Okay. So if you have 100 snags and you have 1,000 rupees per snag, 1 lakh,
Yeah.
you
minimum.
spend how much?
I think you're being very conservative.
I'm trying to drive home a point that even if you're taking at the low end of the spectrum, your ROI is 10x, boss.
Absolutely.
Now imagine the worst case scenario. You're in a villa.
Yeah.
If your villa is so poor and then you have 400, 500 snacks, you have dampness, you have termites, you have all of that, and it's a high-end villa, you have Italian marble,
Yeah.
you have elevators, you have a distribution board, none of that's
Right.
working properly, then your cost is much higher.
Our RWAs are finally asking for audits before takeover. Is this the future of residential real estate accountability? Do you think RWAs should be more?
Let's first clarify what RWA is.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been reading in newspapers that RWA is Resident Welfare Association, which is correct.
Yeah.
When we refer to Resident Welfare Association, we are not talking about an area like Jangpura or area like Saftarjung.
Yeah.
We are talking about a society.
Yeah.
So that is the residents of that society, their welfare association.
Of like a particular block and pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. So that Resident Welfare Association. This was serendipitous that it happened. We had a society of 200, 300 units.
Okay.
We did about 100, 150 units there. After that, they all said, boss, you helped us taking over the unit. Now the builder is saying, take over the society. Can you help us take over the society?
Right.
I said, why not? We have the capacity, we have the capability, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we did that.
This is the auto that you're talking about.
We
right?
come on, hand over, take over.
Yeah.
We have an interesting thing. We started something new.
Okay.
As a human, you are supposed to get your health check every year.
Yes.
Good. It's unpleasant.
Yeah.
Doctor will prod you, poke you, etc. But it is for your own good.
Yeah.
So you go every year. You go to some true match or something and do a blood test.
Yeah.
What will they do? They'll take some blood. They'll give you
Yeah.
40, 50 blood work and say, this is wrong. Your cholesterol is low. Your cholesterol is high. Your vitamin D is this, that, or the other. You need to go to a specialist. If you had not done it,
You would never know.
you would never know. So we thought, look, societies, apartments in Bangalore have started, or in other cities have started
Yeah.
20, 25 years ago. Time is now ripe. People will need to get their health checked for their societies.
Correct.
We are now doing that. People come to us, we do it. We visit twice every year. We'll give you a detailed report of the health of your society.
Lovely.
You will hold people who are doing their work responsible for example, if you have a lift whose AMC is being done. If the AMC is done properly, the lift, everything should be prepped. If it is not, then the AMC wala ka problem.
Of course, yes.
But the problem is you have management committee members, they believe the AMC guys, but they're not technical.
Yeah.
They don't understand what the check on a checkbox means.
Right.
So that is where we come and say, boss, okay, we will come and help.
Interesting. You had global exposure, multiple degrees, and even an IT career. Why jump into a dusty, broken industry like construction?
It's not broken. I think if you look at it, if you look at the old way things were built, I mean, if you talk to your father, grandfather,
Yeah.
even my father's house, his walls are lime mortar.
Yeah.
If you want to put a nail in that wall, impossible.
Yeah, it doesn't go through.
There are today a lot of people are coming up with new ways of building which are endemic to that particular climatic condition.
Right.
You have rammed earth walls.
Yeah.
You have people who are using a waste like keyboards, tires, etc., to have hollow slabs. All of that, if it is you don't always have concrete and glass.
Correct.
You will need air conditioning of the wazoo to keep you cool. But if you build for things that are that climatic conditions, then you won't need all the other fancy stuff.
I think my question is mood though. Because you said like you enjoy this already.
No.
So you're never gonna tell me anything
No,
broken
I'm
about
coming
it.
to the point. So it is interesting for me to see what the weak link is
Yeah.
when somebody will build a villa
Okay.
on a golf course. Now in a golf course, you build a villa. People don't realize that not everybody who plays golf on a golf course doesn't have a scratch handicap or a under 10.
Yeah.
So all kinds of people are going to play. So your golf ball is going to come and crash into your window.
Yeah.
Nobody designs for that at the get-go. Only after a few windows are broken,
Yeah.
will they put some nets,
Yeah.
will they grow some shrubs.
Absolutely. It's
So
when it hits you.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So that's what it.
So tell me about the family legacy, the name Nemmadi, and what did you decide to do differently this time?
My dad, Prakash, A.N. Prakash, started project management consulting in the year 1986.
Yeah.
He had just returned from the Middle East. Every Indian, mostly Malus, but we're not Malus, we're Karnataka. They returned from the Middle East and he said, look, let me start something on my own. Nobody in the family had done anything. We are Brahmins. Nobody ventures out. My father was like the black sheep. He said, let's go out and do something. His father was supportive. He started working. When he started project management, nobody really knew what it was and nobody wanted to give him a job.
Yeah.
So he worked with the contractor to help the contractor spread the word around and then started. He always says it was an oxymoron when they said construction project management. It was never something that worked slowly. It's been 40 years. This is the 40th year now.
Okay.
So things have slowly grown. We are all over India. We also have a small footprint in Maldives and Indonesia, but slowly growing. To your next point, Nemmadi. Nemmadi in the vernacular, my mother tongue, Kannada means peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind.
What we wanted to give was all our customers total peace of mind.
Nice.
That's why we started Nemmadi. Earlier on, when I was not as clever as I'm now, when we went and spoke to a couple of VCs, they all said, nobody will understand Nemmadi. Why are we putting Nemmadi? My only thing was, boss, you invested in Zomato. You invested in all kinds of names.
Yeah.
Swiggy,
Zepto.
Uber. Okay, Zepto is a technical term, but okay. But Uber. But no, why can't I use my mother tongue to give it? It has meaning. Nemmadi is meaning.
Ola.
So
What tech tools are changing the game in quality auditing, especially now, and what kind of tools are you employing?
we started developing an app in-house my wife is into AI and she's into data and things like that. So she helped us do a small POC to see if AI would be able to identify snags which human interference is not needed. For example, line and length, if something is undulating or not. But AI, I don't know if today, if it can identify if something is hollow or not, if there is dampness or not.
Yeah, there's still time for it.
So those kind of things. Then we now generate a curated checklist specific to your particular apartment. So mine is not a generic checklist. So if Rishabh has bought a villa, we will talk to you, we will understand your villa, and we will enter that into our app, and then the app spits out a checklist specific to you.
Very nice.
Then when the engineer goes, he will not miss a square inch of your property.
Very nice. So the prep is done first,
Yes,
and then the visit happens
correct.
according to the customized
According
design
to
of the home or whatever. It is.
exactly.
Interesting. Do real estate firms really want transparency, or do they hate what Nemmadi is doing? Be honest.
Humans are humans.
Don't justify
I'm not justifying.
anyone's behavior.
I'm
Just
not-
tell me
No,
what the case is.
I'm not justifying. We are a thorn in the flesh of lot of people.
Yeah.
I was just telling you, one of the representatives of one of the tier one builders told it to my team's face. We have banned Nemmadi from working in our projects. I only say he's not forward looking. He technically cannot stop us from working there.
Yeah.
If the homeowner wants us to audit, he can't. I also told you there are forward looking builders
Would be thankful.
who are thankful, who learn
Yeah.
and they improve their product. And then you have more people buying from him.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the growth mindset right there, right?
Exactly.
Do you think most home buyers in India are just too trusting, or do you think they are being systematically misled?
Let me ask it a different way.
Okay. I like my window.
No, I'll come back to your way. I'm just
Okay.
trying to
Please.
get a point of view of how to look at it. You know, Charlie Munger said invert.
Yeah.
Inverts to get things.
Okay.
How educated are people that they can actually ask questions to the builder?
Fair. Okay. Not
No.
everyone is.
Yeah. Now, if they were educated, then it is easy for them to ask questions.
Yeah. Most people are not in the business. They're not in the industry. They don't know anything about it.
Not only that, but people are concerned that, look, I have worked 20, 30 years of my life. I've taken a mortgage, I've taken a loan, putting, a lot of things on as mortgage. If I go and talk to the builder, if the builder says no, then what happens?
Ever empowered, like overpowering, I don't know, daunting figure that builder is.
Why? I don't know why it is so. He's also human. You're also human. As I said,
It's the structure it's built, when you go for the booking, you meet an exec. When you are making those payments, you meet an exec. You've never really reached the top of the table.
yeah, it is by design.
It is by design. So the design is such that it's there to like sort of embed some sort of a hierarchy within your mindset. Say,
Yes.
okay, I can't reach out to them.
How many owners of real estate companies have given you a visiting card?
Yeah, no, hardly. Yeah.
The other thing is, if you invert it and see, you are a representative of a bigger group of people who are
Right.
buying apartments or villas.
Correct.
You can create a WhatsApp group, get other homeowners together. It's a task. If
It
you're
is huge.
strong, yeah,
And then again, any kind of revolution doesn't happen like that. Any
it's
kind
not a
of
revolution.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
If you just want to like, even in let's call it a small uprising
Yeah,
of just putting across your fears and your problems in a collective manner, it just never happens. I've seen it like it's just a big challenge unless and until you have to like eventually go to social media. You have to eventually do all those kind of things.
If you rub the builder the wrong way,
Yeah.
you're never going to get anything.
You will never rub the builder the right way.
No, but the thing
Dissent is dissent.
But the thing is, they say now you get more flies by honey than with vinegar.
Yeah, okay.
You have to get the point across.
Fair.
You don't. If you go with a gun, he can come with a cannon. You will never outgun him.
That's the fear. That's the fear. Right there.
So, but if you talk to them,
Yeah.
all they can do is talk more. But you talk. But the problem lies in the fact that he has got more sustaining power than a normal home buyer.
Yeah.
So, if you are paying rent and paying EMI, you would rather not pay rent.
Oh, he can outlast you.
Yeah.
Funny way, right? Do you think has the builder ever tried to influence your inspection report, saying, "कि यार उदय जाने मेरा, हल्दी दे
We've
दो."
had engineers who have been locked up and said, boss, change the report, otherwise we will not let you go.
Okay. In this day and age,
Is that an influence or not? We've had people who have said, no, we will not let you through. We have ways to go through. Obviously, if I tell everybody that, then everybody will know. But we go through and we perform the audit. At the end of the day, where there's a will, there's a way. We've also had builders who have summoned us.
okay, legal notices.
Not legal notice. Bulao.
Oh, अच्छा, बुलाओ देखे
हाँ,
जरा क्या
हाँ,
कमी है, हम भी
हाँ,
देखें.
हाँ,
Oh, अच्छा अच्छा. The first state is denial, right?
हाँ, exactly.
इतनी तो कमियां ही नहीं है. It's
हाँ.
all good.
Exactly.
There are. How can my apartment have so many snags?
So I've had people AGMs. बुलाओ उसको. बच्चा है. हाँ. Compared to a 70-year-old gentleman, I'm a बच्चा. But when we go there,
Yeah.
we talk to them. Sir, what you fail to understand is your team is hiding facts from you. This is the report. Please take a look.
A big part of the job is standing with the homeowner, right? Do you think?
We help them get what is truly theirs.
I mean, so it kind of feels like it's more than what you're being paid for, to be honest. Like, it's not just a report. And if you're required to, or your engineer is required to, then they actually have to show it to the builder also, right?
No, that is not part of our job because we have no locus standi with the builder.
Where
If Rishabh is my customer,
the
Rishabh.
client now needs to address the builder.
Yeah. So what we do is if the
Do you get asked to show support?
we've had homeowners come and say, walk us through the report.
Yeah.
We can do that, but that's a different tier of service. So we have platinum and diamond.
Okay, so you got those packages.
Yeah, packages that I get,
Okay,
yeah.
fair. Then there is that
time,
handle.
time and money. So we have to. I mean, I can't have my engineers keep walking through.
Yeah, fair. Give me your honest take on RERA. You think it's really changing things, or it's just another toothless regulation?
RERA in Maharashtra is strong.
Okay.
Maharashtra has got some teeth. They are taking a lot of action. That is because apartments concept in Bombay has been there for a long time.
Yeah, of course.
Then in Bangalore, people are forward thinking. RERA is there. If you go to the RERA website, you have a lot of people who have complained on RERA, complained against the builders on RERA. However, my request, my submission is they should be given more teeth so that you can take actual action. Just a verbal statement
Yeah.
is not equal to punitive damages.
Fair.
But there are people who are getting together and people are researching the RERA website before they make a purchase.
Yeah.
So that it has helped.
They say RERA certified
RERA certified, but if
in the marketing campaigns.
yeah, but if RERA certified means you're there on RERA.
Yeah.
But if I go into the RERA website and I find 400 problems
Yeah.
in a 300 unit place, then I would not.
Fair. The transparency is there, though.
Yes.
Good. If a builder sells a flat with 100 plus defects, who should be blamed? The builder, the buyer, or the government?
Government has got nothing to do with it unless it's a government project. If it's a builder, I think the blame lies on both the person making the purchase and the person selling it.
Okay.
If you are gullible enough to buy something that is subpar, if there's some fool in the room and you don't know who it is you.
So you think it's not enough to be uninformed?
If you don't know what the law is, or if you don't know what the rule is, you are not escaping from it.
Interesting.
Ignorance of the law is not something, right? Similarly, if you are not aware, we are trying our best to, via people like you, to educate people.
Yeah.
But you need to have the guts to go ahead and take that step and say, boss, I'm paying you 1 crore.
Yeah.
You're making fist over hand money on that apartment. You need to give me what I've been promised.
Last question to you.
Boss,
What's your message to young professionals who want to make a difference in a traditional industry like ours, construction?
make sure you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're in the civil industry, please remember that it is called civil engineering because you're bringing about civilization where there was none.
Yeah.
So don't complain that I have to stand in the sun, I have to go in the middle of a forest. Learn to enjoy the nuances of things. Your construction is not only civil engineering of contractor job, it is not only plastering masonry. You have QS, you have QA, you have
Yeah.
QC, you have BIM, you have so many things. You need to understand what it is. It's a huge ocean. Now we brought about quality checks.
Yeah.
So spend some time. Don't always think about money on your first job.
Fair.
First 2, 3, 4 years,
Nobody gets paid well.
it's not a question of getting paid well. You need to
Nobody
find
makes
the
that.
find your
Find your
fit.
footing. Yes.
Find your
absolutely.
fit. I mean, if you are a fish and they're trying to see how high you can climb a tree, you're never going to succeed.
Yeah.
You need to find whether you're a saltwater fish or a freshwater fish.
Yeah.
Once you get that, you will succeed.
Interesting.
That's what you need to know.
Uday, like I say, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Always a pleasure to be here.
You give out this fun, positive energy,
Thank you.
and thank you for sharing all your thoughts with us today.
Thank you. You make it happen. Thank you very much.
So kind of you, and hope to see you soon.
Definitely.
This was Uday, and I hope you enjoyed all the insights he gives. So if you have any questions, write to me. I'm Rishabh Agarwal. This is The Code, and we are at The Arc Build.